You're watching Pyro Media Network.
Thank you for tuning in. If this is your first time joining us, welcome. We hope your experience is fruitful. Please feel free to visit our website to find out how you can join our growing family. While we are loading your experience, please do us a quick favor and hit that like button from whichever platform you're watching or listening on. Also, share so others may enjoy as well. And we hope you would consider hitting that subscribe or follow button so you can check out more of our amazing content. All right, let's start the show.
Hello, and welcome to It's Just Kim live, right? All the way live. We are all the way live. And tonight for our show, we're going to pick back up on a conversation that we were having a couple weeks ago about what did 2025 teach you? Woo, that's a loaded question, right? What did 2025 teach you? Where do I start? Now, tonight we have What Did 2025 Teach You? Couples Edition. Couples Edition. And I have a very special couple with me today. Yes, they are a special couple. One, because I've known one of them like all their life. And I guess you could probably guess by now if you don't already know. I have my daughter, look, B+1. Oh, okay. Her little sister said, can't wait. All right. But my daughter, Khristian, and her amazing husband, Dr. Patrick Ross, they are joining me tonight. Amazing couple. They've been married a little over 2 years. But I promise you, they're like a very settled couple that I like just watching them because they teach me things just by example. But tonight I want to get into a good conversation with them about 2025 and what it taught them as a couple, what it taught them or what they went through. I'm sure my daughter will talk about some of her health challenges that she went through 2025. 2025. How about it? But anyway, this conversation really, it's not just about marriage, but it's about being able to hold on. It's about choosing each other again and again and again. Because you know what? If you're in a relationship, you got to keep choosing your person. They got to know that you choose them. And it's also about how love grows, but it's not easy. How we decide to hang in there and hold on. How we decide to move through our seasons together. And even when things get heavy and hard, that we remain committed and we stay committed in our relationship. So guess what? That's what we're going to talk about tonight. And I'm hoping, and I'm knowing, I'm not hoping, but I'm knowing that there's a couple out there or a single person out there that is going to be blessed. Good evening, you all. Good evening. Good evening. I see you all saying good evening out there. Thank you for sharing. Thank you for coming. Thank you for being here with me and the Ross family. I tell you what, it's going to be a blessing. It's going to be, you better call somebody, tell them to get here, tell them to hurry up, tell them to tune in right now, tell them to like, subscribe, all the things, right? Share, make sure that everybody is in the room. So for no further ado, I am going to I'm going to run back to the green room and go get this special couple, Dr. Patrick and Khristian Ross. Hello, family.
Hello.
Hello.
Hello, hello, hello. Thank you and welcome to It's Just Kim Live. It's all the way live. We talk about everything relationships, mostly girl stuff, but you know what? Every once in a while we veer off and talk about something different. So tonight we have you both here, an amazing couple, and it's so many people that are just waiting to hear all the great things that you have to share tonight. Yes, because we know that you all teach, not just in word, but in deed. And so thank you for being who you are and what you are in my life, in your dad's life, in your siblings' life, okay? And everybody, you know, we got a big old village.
Right.
And so the whole village is here. Trust me when I tell you. I was sending out those text messages and they were like, oh, heck yeah. Oh, yeah. I even see some people at your church, a text message. They was like, what, tonight? I said, at 7:00. And so they should be here tonight too. So tonight we are, this is kind of a follow-up, if you will, on something that I had thought about. I had talked to Kwame, my producer. I said, you know what, in the very beginning of the year, I want to talk about what 2025 taught us, because I know it did. It taught us a lot of things. We had some hard lessons in 2025. And so I wanted to bring on different people. Like last week, I had a therapist, a Black male therapist, who talked about what 2025 taught him as a Black man, as a Black therapist, as a husband, as a father. He shared some really important things. That was my coworker, Curtis Jefferson. Yeah, there he is. I tell you, we work like hand in glove. We are a team like none other at Marcel Wellness, let me tell you. And so he was on last week, and he was really a blessing to the audience. I had a lot of great feedback, and I was sharing that with him. But tonight we're doing the couples edition, okay? And so we're gonna talk about a lot of different things, areas of life, as of coupleship, if you will, relationship, and we're going to dive right into it. So the first thing I want to, I guess, deal with is like personal growth. So each of you can answer this. What did 2025 teach you about yourself that you didn't know?
I guess I'll go first. I would say, wow, 2025 was a rough one for me.
Yeah.
I think I try to block out most of it, but I really can't, because it was a doozy. I went through a lot that I did not expect. A lot was thrown at me very quick, and I had to make very quick decisions regarding my health.
Yeah.
And one of my surgeries, I had to make a decision, and not even a whole decision. I mean, the doctor was just like, I got to do this right now, or it won't turn out well for you. But what 2025 taught me is that one, I'm stronger than I thought I was.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I am, I have purpose.
Wow.
I have purpose. Even beyond what I thought my purpose was,
Mm-hmm.
I have purpose. It taught me to share my story
Wow. Oh, wow.
because you know me, I can keep everything to myself and be just
Yeah.
fine and keep it rolling and
Yeah.
nothing happens. You know, I don't feel anything, but I really felt like I had to start sharing my story. And it's so funny, my baby sister, not my little sister, my baby sister, I have two.
Right.
My baby sister just the other week texted me and said, encouraged me to start re-sharing my story.
Wow. Okay.
How I want to go forward with that. So yes.
Nice. I love that. Thank you.
Well, I would say for me, in all honesty, I have a curriculum with reference to the things that I learned in 2025.
I hear you.
I'll say that 2025 helped me to see the limits of my control.
Wow.
I'm not
Woo.
the type of person that's interested in controlling other people. I just like to control what's going on in my world with me as much as possible.
Mm-hmm.
And there were so many unexpected things that happened in 2025
Wow.
that the reality is that I had no control.
Wow.
I've been teaching over the past couple of weeks that at times control feels safer than surrender.
Mm.
And I realized that it's better to surrender. It's easier to surrender
Yeah.
because when you're trying to control, you're utilizing all this energy, but surrender has to do with yielding. And so,
Woo.
one thing that my pastor says, and borrow from him, two things can be true at the same time.
That's true.
So I'll just add this. Sometimes it's three things that could be true.
It's a lot of things, right? There's so many things that could be true at the same time.
Right.
So I realized that big picture, when I look back,
Mm-hmm.
not being churchy, religious, or anything, the reality is that God is faithful. He's
Now
consistent.
yes.
He's
Yes,
consistent.
sir.
I like what Paul says, that he remains faithful even when we're not.
When we are not. Yes, sir.
So I was able to see some things about me. Some things I liked, and then a bunch of things that I didn't like. But
Yeah.
they all go together. So yeah.
Yeah. I love that. I love that. Thank you for both of you for just being very transparent and vulnerable, because it's so easy for us as ministry people to just, to tuck away all of our fears and everything that we don't have control over and the things that maybe we don't do so well, and tuck all that away and just shine like the man or woman of God that God created us to be. And that is not what people need. They need the real deal. Okay? They need us to be transparent. And now I have a limit, right? Bishop and I have been in ministry over 40 years now. And there's a couple things that I like to keep private, so I'm not trying to put everything out there, but I know that when God allows me to go through things, that most times it's not for me.
Mm-hmm.
It's definitely for somebody else. So thank you both for sharing that. That was good. I don't even know any other way to describe it. Both of you, that was really, really good. Now it's you guys have been married how long now? It's been how long?
2 years and October, November, December, January. So
We
2
got
years.
married September 30th, 2023.
It's been a little over 2 years. 2 years and
a little over what?
2 years and a little about 3 months. Yeah. 2 years.
Okay. So we're still in the early 2-year
Yes.
mark. Yes. So I'm going to ask you a couple questions about that because sometimes people think, oh, I don't know how many times I had people who have been married longer than me say these certain things to me that used to just irritate my soul, and I always promised myself that I would never say it to young couples. And when I mean young, I mean it could be young in age, but young in marriage as far as the length of time. And because there is so much that we can all learn from each other,
right.
And so no matter how long you've been married, I mean, I'll put it like this. There are people who've been married as long or longer than I have. And we still trying to figure out what they're doing, And so it really is about not the length of time, but how productive you and your spouse have been in the marriage, right. How you treat one another and how you bless and love on one another, and support and cherish each other. So let me ask you this. How did 2025, because you talked about the things that you went through, not being able to control certain situations, Khristian, dealing with like medical issues, health issues that required like immediately making, quick, fast, and in a hurry type decisions. How did that stretch your communication as a couple? How did that build it and stretch it and make it what it is today?
I think I would say that and I'm still working on it because I'm such like, I think it's that oldest daughter in me that's like, you don't need, you're supposed to help everybody. Nobody needs to be able to do anything for you, that mindset.
Yes.
But I do know now I am more, I'm aware of my body and what I need. And so now I'm able to communicate that a little better with him. I still don't do it perfectly, but I am learning to say, hey, I don't feel well. Or, when he asks me, do I feel well? I can honestly now say no. And whereas before it was like, oh, I'm fine. And he's like, you're not fine because it's all over your face. So, and so, but I had just learned to deal with my situation over the years.
Yeah.
Not worry about it. And so that for me has been my biggest issue, is just saying I don't feel well. Or, okay, yes, I need to go to the doctor, or, yes, I'm gonna go to the hospital, because I'm just like, I'll be fine. Give me a day or two, give me some, some ibuprofen. Give me some 800s, I'll be fine. But these were not 800 symptoms. So
yeah. No, you're right. So Patrick, how did it stretch your communication?
Well, I have to think about, or that question causes me to think about when we went through our premarital counseling. And one of the things that was really Bishop Cooper drove home to the both of us, and it stuck with me, is that the person that you're choosing to marry is the most important person in the world.
Amen.
To you. And they have to be the priority. It's not them and it's them. period. And so I have learned, and I'm yet learning,
Yeah.
that because she is the most important person in the world to me, is that um, I can trust Christian. I can trust her. And
Wow.
so whatever is going on with me, you know, I can tell her. Even you know, even things that I don't feel so hot about, or I may feel embarrassed about,
Mm-hmm.
you know, I can I can I can tell her. I can trust her. She's
Mm-hmm.
non-judgmental, and that's what a relief it is.
Oh, what a relief it is.
She's very encouraging.
Wow.
So I'm learning more and more that
Mhm.
it's I would say it's unconscious. You know, is that
Ah.
I can tell her, and you know things come up, and so I think about it, and I don't I don't have to think about how she's going to respond.
Hmm.
I'm thinking about like how I'm going to present myself. You know, I don't look too foolish.
So I love that because you just pointed out something that's I think is really important if couples are listening. Really, honestly, you pointed out two things. You said not only can you trust her, but you can also trust her reaction to what you're going to tell her in maybe a rough moment, that you're having personally,
Mhm.
or a moment where you're not so proud of yourself. Um, Not only do you trust her with the information, but you trust her with your heart because you
Absolutely.
know she's not going to come for you and she's not going to try and break you down and all those things. That is so important. So
It's
important.
absolutely. That was one of the things that I just admired about her when we first started talking.
Mhm.
I remember describing to my family and loved ones, one of the top three things I would say about Christian when I would describe her is that she knows how to talk to me,
Wow.
and I still say that to this day. She knows how to talk to me, and so I appreciate that. And so as I said, I'm still learning, I'm still stretching, and
Mhm.
with every stretch, there's this sense of peace and comfort, and she is definitely my safe space, and I'm grateful to God for that.
Yeah, yeah.
I'll leave right there. I appreciate who she is as a woman. As
I
a,
love that.
yeah.
I do. It makes it's a blessing for me. I'm not sitting here as her mom, but I am her mom. And it not only makes me feel proud, but it makes me feel like, you know what? You did something good.
Yeah.
No? You did something good. And I don't credit myself for everything about my kids because some things just come natural. It's part of their personality, who they are.
Correct.
But I know that a lot of the things that we taught them and their dad taught them was very intentional. Very intentional. Very intentional. We had gone through enough in our own life, personal, in our relationship and families to know what we didn't want for them.
Mm.
And so, because there were things that we didn't want for them, there were the relationship issues that we didn't want them to have with each other, that we were very intentional about the way we taught them about love and relationships and forgiveness and all those things. So it feels good to know that those things are coming into play even in their adult relationships and their personal relations, their love relationships. So thank you for sharing that.
Can I just say?
Oh, please say on.
I know I've mentioned to you and Bishop
Mm-hmm.
how much I appreciate
Oh.
the rearing that you all and the investments that you all have made in your children, because I think you have wonderful children.
Thank you.
You do. I think they're just great people, and
Yeah,
so,
it's great.
I appreciate the fact that
Mm-hmm.
I have married a woman who respects me, who
Yeah.
loves me, who honors me, and who adores me, and my dirty socks. And so what else can I say about that?
That's sweet.
So thank you, and Bishop. I really, y'all did good.
We did good. I think so. I think they're all cool people.
They are. They're great people.
I think they're all cool people. We kind of like them.
Yeah.
We do. Now, let me ask you this, because, we've talked about the personal, we've talked about you, the two of you as a couple. But as far as ministry is concerned, because one thing I know, like I said, Bishop and I have been in ministry. Let's see, how old is William? 33 or something like that. So we've been in ministry, I think, about 35 years. And Tiffany said dirty socks and all. We've been in ministry for about 35 years or so. And one thing that we have learned is that ministry can be a blessing to marriage, and ministry can destroy marriages. That's one thing I know for sure. Okay. And I've seen it happen over the years, over different couples. I've witnessed couples who split up, ministry couples, husband and wife, pastor and first lady, who have broken up, and you would have never thought they would ever break up. Nobody was even aware that there were issues going on, and so it's so important to protect each other, to cover one another. I'm not saying be a cover up, and sometimes you may have to be a cover up, right? But if it's something I need to say or I need to check, I'm gonna do it in private. I've never went off on my husband in public. I've never tried to shame him or make him look bad, because when I do that to him, guess who else looks bad? Right. Me. Exactly. I look bad too, but I've seen it happen both ways, go both ways. And so when in ministry, with being a couple in ministry, there are things that we have to do. I'm not saying we have to do them more than most couples, but we have to be very intentional about our relationship and what that means to us and how we protect it. So what would you say, through everything that you kind of talked about, what boundaries did you guys have to create in 2025 that made sure that your relationship was secured, it was protected, and you were still able to do ministry?
So, man,
please.
So let me say this. And thank you for that question. I will have to say I made that decision when I decided to marry Khristian.
Mm-hmm.
I made the decision then.
Yeah.
That she is my priority.
Mm.
And because we are a unit, because we are a partnership, there's no other relationship that goes before it.
Mm.
So I decided that, when I decided to marry her, that was it.
That's it.
And so when it comes to the service that I provide at the Greater New Light Church and wherever, me being a preacher, me being a pastor, those are things that I do. I am Patrick Ross. And so when I'm at home, I'm not doctor, I'm not pastor.
Hallelujah.
She's like, babe, you take that trash out. At the church we got custodians, but we don't have custodians.
No, right.
And so I thank God that, in all honesty and sincerity, that the respect that we have for one another, we have that at home, and so it permeates everywhere else that we go.
Love it.
And
love that. Yes.
When it comes to ministry, there's no competition. We're not trying to compete. I often tease her, and I still believe this, but it doesn't matter. I tell her that the people at the church, they like her better than me, but that's okay. I don't have a problem with that.
You have a problem with it? It's okay.
They genuinely love her.
Yeah.
And so, if there are expectations or unrealistic expectations, they haven't come to my ears, and it wouldn't matter, because they're not going to come to me with any foolishness like that. And so I'm able to provide the kind of service that I do because I got peace at home.
Amen.
And that's for real.
You better pull up on that camera and say it.
I got peace at home. And even, we have disagreements. We don't
of course,
see eye to eye as human beings. At the end of the day, we respect each other. Right? And so when I leave the house and go to church, I'm not thinking about, what face am I going to put on today, or what type of camouflage I have to put on, what air we are who we are. And so I'm grateful to God that, wherever I am, she's somebody who I'm proud of. And I'm grateful to the Lord that the type of ministry that I shepherd, they are loving people.
Yes,
very gracious.
Testify to that.
Very kind people. That's the way. That's who they are, and I'm grateful to them for that. And so that the peace that I have at home, it just, people at the church, they still say, Pastor, you just look so happy, you just shine. Matter of fact, one of the members just told me yesterday, I don't know what's going on with you, but you just shining.
I love that.
I'm grateful, for my walk with God, obviously. And I'm grateful that I have a partner, I have a wife, I have a spouse, that I can do what God has called me to do without any issues.
Yes.
So
look, you better do that.
It just is what it is.
I know that's right. And you know what I love? I have to add something to that, because being a first lady, co-pastor, whatever the case is, I have witnessed over the years pastors, husbands put unrealistic expectations on their wives, their first lady wives. And you said you haven't heard of any unrealistic expectations for your wife through the people. But one thing that blessed me was we've been in conversations, and your whole thing was, this is my wife.
Absolutely.
Whatever she's comfortable with doing at Greater New Light,
absolutely,
it's cool. That's what she can do. Anything she doesn't want to do, be a part of, she doesn't have to. I love that, because there are so many, not so many. Kim, quiet down. It gets personal. There are a lot of pastors out there that have these expectations of their wives that they don't really understand that is not something that she's comfortable with, that she can even obtain. It's not part of who she is until she's ready to walk out the door.
Yeah.
And so I love the fact that you said she really doesn't have to do, in so many words, she really doesn't have to do anything but be my wife.
That's it. That's it.
But be my wife. And that right there, Khristian, you could probably testify to this. That right there just makes you even want to be a blessing even the more to your husband, to say, you know what, let me get in here and do some work and be a part of, because there's no pressure. You know, we're going to go to a commercial, and then when we come back, I have some other questions for you guys. You guys are doing great. We'll be right back.
Thanks.
Hey, how y'all doing? Real quick, this is Daryl Walter, host of the Daryl Walter Show. I know. And you are watching Pyro Media Network.
What's going on, y'all? It's Kwame Speaks from Kwame Speaks Live, and you're watching Pyro Media Network.
Hey, it's Dr. Nicole D. Vick from Dr. Victorious, and you're watching Pyro Media Network.
Okay, so we are back. And we were having a really good conversation about sometimes in ministry, maybe a pastor can put a husband can put an unrealistic expectation on his wife, one that she's not quite comfortable with, or one that is just not it's not in her wheelhouse. It's not something that she's able to do. And, you know, that over time, that causes a lot of tension, a lot of issues in marriage. Okay. And so people sometimes walk away. I mean, you didn't see that happening back in the day, but people, it's different now. People get their stuff and go. Be like, look.
You know, before we got married, we had the conversation about even like church membership. So I told Khristian, I said, you don't have to join Greater New Light. You could stay at Church One. I don't have that requirement. And I didn't. And so we won't talk about how that came about, but that was just my thing. You don't even have to join.
Yeah.
And so we had invited Bishop to preach for us. And then he gets up before he preaches. He gets up and says, you know, my wife and I, you know, we are in agreement, you know, with Khristian coming to be a part of Greater New Light and serving with her husband. And I'm like, that ain't what we talked about. And that was so funny. We laughed and talked about that. gave you away to the church.
Right.
You know?
He did.
I said, did he put me out of church?
Right. Well, we
Like-
already had that conversation,
Right.
and you know, and you know, we obviously understand her work schedule and things like that, but beyond that, you know, I just didn't have that requirement, and so I think about a year in, she said, I want to join. I want to join Greater New Life.
Oh.
I said, why?
You said, why? Not why.
I mean, really, like that's not what we talked about. And so
Uh-huh.
she said, You're my husband, and I trust your leadership."
Wow. Yes.
You know, when she said that, I was like,
Mhm. Mhm.
I mean, not that I didn't think she trusted my leadership because she wouldn't have married me, but
Right.
it was just a different element of respect and honor and trust. And so when
Yes.
she said, you know, I trust your leadership. I see what you're doing. I appreciate
Yeah.
what you're doing, and I want to be a part of it.
I love that.
Capacity, not just because, you know, I don't want to come just because I'm your wife. I want to come because I want to be a part of what you're doing. And so
Yeah.
that just, boy, that did something very, very special in me and for me. So,
Wow. Yeah, it's funny because, you know, now Bishop has some things that he is very, very old school, very traditional about. One is we gonna wear clergy and black on first Sunday, right? And number two is when you get married, you need to go on down to the church where your husband is, right? And so that's just his belief. And
Sure.
I do remember you guys having that conversation.
Right.
And I remember when she would even still come to church Patrick,
Mhm.
sometimes you came too.
Absolutely.
You know, you would come and then you guys would go, you know, to your church. So I don't know. I think for me, I always felt like eventually she would go, and I felt like she should go, but I think for me, because I've been a first lady for such a long time, I just wanted her to be okay as a
Mhm.
mom. You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
Sure. Absolutely.
And I
I got it.
wanted the people to treat her good,
Absolutely.
you know, and I didn't want to have to come down there. Ah, I didn't want to do that.
Uh-oh.
I just, you know, that's not what I had in mind. So when I met the people at your church, I completely fell in love with them. They are amazing people. They make me feel so comfortable. I never feel out of place. I never feel unwelcome. Anytime I go there, and there have been a couple times where I just showed up on my own, you know,
Yeah.
and they just, you know, everybody always knows who I am. I never have to reintroduce myself to anyone at your church. I can't say that everywhere I go, but yeah, it was a blessing. It's been a blessing for the fact that this child right here is not the one that I thought would marry a preacher, let alone a pastor. Okay. But hey, when God says certain things, we just go with what he says. You know, that's not even something that God spoke to my spirit and I thought was going to happen. I knew she would have what it takes, but I knew that was not her desire. But God will change your desires.
Yeah.
Right.
You know, he'll change your desires to be his desires, whatever he has for you. So let me ask you guys this. What did 2025 teach you about grace towards yourself and towards each other?
Wow. Ooh. Grace towards myself, I would say that I have to now show myself grace because I know that I didn't before. It was like I had to go to work. I had to show up for church. I had to do these things. And just I'll give you a little bit of kind of what I went through in 2025, so people can kind of understand what we're talking about, because I know sometimes that could be a little frustrating. So in March, end of March of 2025, I had a surgery, and it went a lot longer than we expected.
Yes.
It was supposed to be about 8 hours. It ended up being about 10.
Mhm.
And 2 to 3 days after surgery, I had to have emergency surgery at like literally at midnight.
Mhm.
Um, they rushed me into the OR and had to put in an ileostomy. And I think that um, uh, out of all the things that I've been through with having endometriosis, um, I think that broke me the most,
Mm. Mhm.
because I felt disfigured as a woman
Wow.
and as a married woman, because you're supposed to be having a good time,
Right. Right.
and I just felt like, who would, like, ugh, like, like, I mean, I am, it's a word that one of my favorite people in the world, Mrs. Ford, taught me, defecating. I was
Mhm.
defecating in a bag, and and I just,
Yeah.
I that was so hard for me. I mean, I went so long with trying for him not to see it. I didn't sleep for I wouldn't sleep for like out like I would only sleep for so many hours, and I would wake up nervous that my bag burst open, or
Mm.
I know that it did burst open a couple of times. I mean,
Mhm.
those were some hard months, because
Yeah.
as a woman, and I mean, I'm not super young, I'm not old, but as a young woman, I just felt disgusting. And it
Hmm.
wasn't because I had this bag, but it was because I felt like I almost I kind of felt like I was cheating him out of something.
Wow.
And so because I felt like that, I just felt like, like he doesn't have to deal with this. This is not
Mm.
something he has to deal with, and so I really felt like, okay, so then it was like I had to really start talking to myself, and honestly reading the word of God, and really showing myself that I can give myself some grace, cuz man, I was very, very hard on myself about that. I mean,
Mhm.
I don't
Mhm.
think anybody really knows, but except for him, because I cried to him. I just cried that next morning when I woke up. I just cried and cried and cried. I mean, the nurses were coming in giving me my medication, and I was just crying,
Mhm.
because I just felt so ugly. I felt
Mm.
so ugly as a woman. And so I really had to rebuild my faith, because I just felt like, okay, God, like I'm already losing my, and I'll even say, I lost both my fallopian tubes due to endometriosis. Um, and so I was like, I lost my fallopian tubes. I'm losing, I lost so much.
Yeah.
Um, and so I just felt like, to have this bag, I mean, I could be sitting anywhere and I could have gas and it'll just blow up, like I was just so overly conscious about it. It
Of
just
course.
had, I mean, we went out of town and I was conscious about it. It was just so
Mhm.
many things, just being on an airplane. I was like, is the height of, how high the airplane gonna go? Is that gonna make my bag go, bust open?
Wow.
So it was hard. It was not easy, but I really just, I really did. I had to show myself grace. I had to. I had to say, okay, Christian, you did not put this on yourself. This is not something you did to yourself.
Right. Right.
This is something that is happening, and you'll get through it. And then, with him, showing him grace was, honestly allowing him to feel how he felt. You know, like I think sometimes we don't allow our partner to feel like he was allowed to feel. He was allowed to feel scared. He was allowed to be nervous. He was allowed to be anxious. He was, he was allowed to, to kind of go off on the nurses when he needed to, you know.
Yeah.
'Cause I had about those 14 days I was in the hospital, I had at least about 4 procedures done
Yeah.
in those 14 days. And it was just like things back to back. It was just nonstop. I felt like I was just consistently going down to the OR for something, and it was a lot, but I had to, I'm like, he's allowed to be sad. He's allowed to be scared. He's allowed those things, so I had to show him grace in that.
Could I add something to that?
Mhm.
And I don't know, Patrick, I don't know what you're going to say with this particular question. But one thing I remember knowing about Patrick was that in being scared and feeling the way he did or whatever it was he may have been experiencing, the one thing that I knew to be true about him was I signed up for all of this.
Yes.
And he was very, very, he was true to that.
Yes. Very true.
This is what I signed up for. So you don't get to tell me what I signed up for.
Yeah.
This is what I signed up for. That is something that, and I'm sure if your dad was here, that brings a comfort to a parent, no matter how old your kids are. You're still there, they're still your babies. And that brings a comfort to a parent, to the mother or father of a daughter, like none other, knowing that her husband is saying, I signed up for all of this, all the surgeries, all the recoveries, all the ileostomy, everything. I signed up for it. My producer is saying we got to have you guys back, and we do. We do, because you all have so much that you can share. People, I'm looking at the comments and people are so encouraged. So many people didn't know that you were going through exactly what you were going through. They knew co-pastor went at church. Oh, she's at the hospital. I think I put 1,000,000 miles on my car the first, month or two that I got it. And it's because I was like, one thing was I gotta be with my baby, but I knew she was okay because she was in Patrick's care. But I felt like I needed to be a blessing to him because he was such a blessing to my daughter, to my family. And so I always wanted to make sure that he was able to get his rest and just go take a shower and just be at home, when he needed to be or if he wanted to, so yeah, that was a tough time.
Right.
That was a tough time for the two of you, for all of us actually. Yeah. But I thank God. So Patrick, I'm going to ask you to start because we're going to close out.
Okay.
I'm going to ask you to answer this question. As you step into, or as we have stepped into 2026, what lesson from 2025 are you going to carry forward? What's one lesson that you like, I'm taking that one with me. We don't get to dump that one off in 2025. That one comes along.
I will say 2025 expanded my emotional capacity. And it's okay to feel. And it's okay to feel whatever it is that you feel.
Yeah.
What I have learned is that my feelings are indicators, not dictators.
Hey.
So, I will say the disappointment, the anxiety, the worry, the frustration. I felt all those things not for me because of what I was going through. It was because of what she was going through. Because I'd never seen Khristian down like that. Never. And I haven't seen her down since then. Not before then or since then. And I'll just say this. Ileostomy bag or no, I still chased her around the house. That's my baby. And that's
I love it. That's right. Just hold on.
I'll leave it right there till next time.
Okay. Till the next time. So we're gonna end here, but I'm gonna have another guest come on and talk about what 2025. I think it's so important for us to learn from our experiences so that we don't make the same mistakes, or so that we can grow, so that we can recognize certain things. But what we've talked about today, I think, has been so important, because a lot of the lessons that Patrick and Khristian have learned, a lot of us have learned through 2025, they came through joy, through trials and tribulations, but all of that, they were all meant to strengthen us as individuals, as well as to strengthen our partnerships. I know your partnership, your relationship is so much more stronger than maybe it would have been if you had not had to go through that. How could you not strengthen your partnership going through that? And that's the thing about couples. And I'll say this and I'll end here. We have to hold on in the hard times. We have to hold on in the lean times, because that's where we become a powerful, dynamic duo. We become a unit. We become a fist. We become all the things that we need to be as a couple, where one person, people are looking at us and they just see one unit. Individuals, yeah, we have our own dreams, hopes, all that stuff, goals. But as a married couple unit, we are strong. Right. And so you have demonstrated that today through your testimonies, through sharing what you shared with our audience today. And I just want to say thank you. You don't even understand how much of a blessing that you have been to our listeners today. Phoenicia said, hang on in there, Ness, a word that he learned from us. Absolutely. We've had that. Hang on in there, Ness. Amen. Yes. So thank you for watching. Thank you for joining. Thank you for taking the time out to be with us today. Thank you, Patrick and Khristian, for being here. Thank you for being my family. Thank you for making me proud. Honestly, I can say that. So until the next time, family, you all take care and you stay safe.
Thank you for watching Pyro Media Network. For more information, please visit pyromedianetwork.com.